Where there's a will, there's a way, and after several years in limbo, Lanterns finally gets the green light. Let's discuss. Lanterns follows new recruit John Stewart and Lantern legend Hal Jordan, two intergalactic cops drawn into a dark Earth-based mystery as they investigate a murder in the American heartland. Now this logline gives me pause. Whilst there's nothing objectively wrong with it, its promise of a terrestrial threat is worrisome, as it perhaps betrays the series' production value. Green Lantern is at its best when it's a space opera, space being the operative word. The only reason to ground them to Earth would be to save on costs, but the nature of the property demands a sizable budget, one whose visuals are limited solely by the imagination. Lanterns has been given an 8-episode straight-to-series order by HBO, according to Variety, no longer an original series for their streaming service Max, which may allay some budgetary concerns. Its showrunner and executive producer Chris Mundy will also be co-writing the show, alongside fellow EPs Damon Lindelof and Tom King, the latter of whom I am most familiar with, King being a comic writer and a fine one at that. The cited works of his collaborators, titles such as Ozark and The Leftovers, further suggest a dramatic tone for what's in store. King took to Instagram recently to share his excitement for the project. We're working with a dream team writers room, putting together something thrilling and epic and intimate and grounded and funny and true. A superhero show that brings together the glories of the comics with the excellence of an HBO prestige drama. It's such an honor to work on these characters, to build on what Titans John Broome, Gil Kane, Denny O'Neil, and my old pal Neil Adams created. We're endlessly inspired by and grateful for the creativity of so many Lantern comic creators from 1940 to this Wednesday. It seems they've run the gamut of Green Lantern's publication history. What once was a novel concept, it's comforting to hear Warner Brothers sourcing the actual source material. Whilst I'm remaining cautiously optimistic, I'd be lying if I said King's enthusiasm wasn't the slightest bit infectious. The series as it stands shows more promise than its previous incarnation, which starred a pair of lesser-known Lanterns, most notably Guy Gardner, a character instead set to appear in the upcoming Superman film, written and directed by James Gunn. Given the film is first to release, Gardner will serve as our window into the reimagined Green Lantern mythos. In July of last year, they cast Nathan Fillion. On the role, Fillion stated Guy Gardner is 90% flawed and doesn't care. An apt description. To call the character contentious would be an understatement. And to further mine the off-the-sign space cop analogy, Gardner is a loose cannon, typically in the wrong and thus the butt of many jokes. And perhaps that's Gunn's play here. Gunn notoriously leans on humor for his body of work, evidently to a success as it landed him in the creative head position he now occupies. So if it ain't broke, why fix it? Well, Gunn's woven a tight rope for himself, and to give him credit, let's presume he's privy to this. Gardner serving as our reintroduction to Green Lantern could be a means of persuading prior misgivings, parading the Corps' tried and true clown, making audiences all the more receptive. A valued hallmark, I'll admit, for Gunn's filmography, one which may soon tire, given its frequency. Gardner is fiery, which to me makes him endearing, as beneath it all you come to find that his heart is usually in the right place. But to reach the character's core, you must first brace his brash exterior, which may prove a task too great for viewers. Lest we forget, Ryan Reynolds sported this very styling for his portrayal of Hal Jordan, ultimately to the film's detriment as it relegated the character to a Russian doll, shells upon shells offering but further shallow. It's since become public knowledge that Reynolds' Green Lantern was to be the forerunner for a connected universe of its own, and when that took a nosedive, the Man of Steel swooped in to save the day a mere 2 years later for the cycle to begin anew. Superman's is a legacy with no signs of dilution despite this perennial cycle of rinse and repeat, whereas the court of public opinion has kept Green Lantern mired since 2011, survived by subsequent media's purely as comedic fodder. Whether Lanterns or Superman will help change the narrative remains to be seen. Recent Superman set leaks have been subject to scrutiny as par for the course. Is this the spitting image of Guy Gardner? No. But as widely speculated, the departures appear to be in service of the story, indicative of his membership in the Justice League rather than the Corps at large. And with that, we draw this chapter to a close. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe, share your thoughts below, let yourselves be known. Hope to see you in the next one.